I'm here today with Andy. We are going to do a couples Q&A, or kind of like, you could almost call it a couples tag, except we're not using preset questions from like a questionnaire. We're using questions that were left as comments in last week's vlog. So we got a good amount of questions. Yeah, so I've got them all written down here on my laptop. So if you see me looking here, it's to see the questions. So you had a chance to quickly review them.
Yeah.
And you feel comfortable with them?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So the first question, I'm actually kind of merging these two together because they're really similar. One is from Debbie Vandercook. She asked, how did the two of you meet? And then the second is from Sandra Mentry. She said, how did you guys get together? Those are kind of similar, so I thought we just answer them as one answer.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the first time we met, Andy?
I was sitting on a bench by the building I used to work in, and you came up to me and you asked if I worked there, and you used to think I was a grad student.
I thought you were a grad student. I said, oh, yeah. Are you a student, I think I said in ECE or computer science, because I thought you were a grad student working in a different building.
Right.
So I was like, hey, are you a student in XYZ program?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm staff.
I'm a staff man.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how we started talking.
Yeah, and we used to go on walks alone at lunch too. So I think that's how we first saw each other on campus.
Right.
So we both work at UC Santa Barbara, and we used to work in buildings right next to each other. So it was very convenient to meet up.
Yeah.
We just walk downstairs and there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'd see each other, I think, sometimes. And I used to see Andy walking around campus, and you're usually by yourself. And I could have swore that you used to have earbuds in, and then I thought you were listening to music. Did you used to have earbuds in?
I used to listen to podcasts if I would try to call, you know, my mom or my brothers or something like that at lunch. But if I couldn't get a hold of them, then I would listen to music and kill some time, or podcasts.
Walking, overseeing the beach too. I think I used to see you, like, there's that kind of cliffed area that looks over the beach. Yeah. On our side of campus.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think so I kind of used to see him and be curious, and then I just went up and said hi.
Yeah. It's perfect timing.
And it was cool because Andy, you know, I was brand new in my position as a finance manager last summer, and Andy was working as a financial analyst, and I started telling him about work things and how I needed to work on my first financial journal, which I had never done before, and then he kindly offered to help me. That was the last thing you said. You yelled from upstairs, if you need help with financial journal, I can help you.
That's a secret. You just gotta be good with financial journals.
And then I started emailing him and asked him if he wanted to meet up during lunch to do Pokemon Go, because that was popular last summer, and that was kind of like an ezy way to get in and have an activity to do and to kind of talk. And
you sent the first email.
Yeah.
I was going to, but I think I was hesitant. I didn't want to seem like a creep. Like, oh hey, I just met you. And
no, I was a creep. I'll email you right away. Hey, we just met. You want to play Pokemon?
Yeah, and then it took us a couple weeks. I think you were just busy when you first started.
Busy. When I first started, it was months of catching up on work.
Right.
It was busy.
So yeah, it took us a couple weeks to actually start walking around.
Yep.
And started talking a little more. And we did play Pokemon Go once, I think.
Once. It was really hard to play because we're trying to talk and get to know each other, but then playing the game and shooting the little, you like shoot the little
Pokeballs,
animals. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
And that leads us into the second question from someone from Germany, YouTube Gun Gulam. It's a German.
Yeah.
It's German.
It's hard to pronounce.
What was the first movie you guys watched together?
Sausage Party!
Woohoo! I wish I could change it to a different movie. But
something cuter.
Yeah, it was like our first date, but I don't like to call it our first date. And we went to the movies and we saw Sausage Party, and it was my suggestion. I didn't realize it would be so crude and like inappropriate. So I kind of regretted having that as our first movie. And then we went next door and I got Mexican food at Los Agaves. So I was really hungry.
Yeah.
So that's the first movie we saw together.
Yeah. We don't consider that our first date though.
No, we like to consider August 20th when we went to the Lark in the Funk Zone to be our first date.
Yeah.
And on that day, it was a Saturday, you made the reservation.
Yeah.
Andy got there before me. The parking was really tough.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to park in the Funk Zone in the evenings. Everyone's out drinking alcohol and stuff. So you had called me and said you couldn't find a parking space for me because you wanted to save one for me and then give it to me. But you couldn't do that, so you valeted, and then you said you'd pay for me to valet my car.
Yeah.
And then I was a hot mess and really anxious and nervous at the dinner.
Yeah. That's alright though.
So nervous at that dinner. I was sweating and nervous.
Yeah.
And
I was nervous too.
yeah, was that when you called? You were texting me pictures of your t-shirts or your
That was
button down?
before that. Yeah.
When did you buy the button down t-shirt and then you like messed it up and bought a new one?
That day.
That day.
Yeah.
So you bought a new button down. You washed it and dried it.
I think after I got it out of the dryer, I realized that it had all these spots on it, all these blotches.
Oh, from the community dryer.
Yeah.
Someone maybe had bleach in there or something.
Probably. So I went to the store again, bought another one, and I didn't wash it. I just ironed it to make sure that it was
good,
wrinkle-free, but not gonna get ruined again. So.
And you were texting me pictures of shirts to wear and saying, which shirt should I wear for this dinner?
I never go out to eat, especially to like a kind of not like crazy fancy, but like still not like wearing a
t-shirt.
You know,
yeah, exactly. It's not pizza and beer or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
I thought that was cute. That kind of segues into the third question from Muriel Davis. When did you realize that Andy was the right guy for you? It really started to be after that dinner at the Lark, and I was anxious and nervous. Andy stood up for me. He got the bill. He got me out of the restaurant. He really advocated for me and was compassionate and supportive, and that's when I really saw that side of him that I love and I continue to see every time I am uncomfortable or nervous. So that is really what did it for me. And then after the Lark, we went to my place and had pizza.
Yeah, because we didn't eat much at the Lark.
Yeah, we were nervous.
We left pretty early, yeah.
We came back to my place, we had pizza, we talked for like 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
And it was so easy, and it was like everything got along, and it was all the same points of views and reactions, and everything was like the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's when I realized. And then more and more over time, actually,
exactly.
Is when I started to realize it more and more, especially when I went through difficult times or when I was anxious and you were completely there for me and supportive and kind.
Yeah.
Then I really started to see, you know, it kind of brought us together each time.
Yeah.
And made me trust you and rely on you more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fourth question from Tasman Zuro, it's kind of a two-parter. How have you found living with someone for the first time? What have been the challenges and the best bits?
It's actually been pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was expecting it to be harder than it has been.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to get used to it, but I mean, I've had roommates.
Yeah, exactly. We've had roommates, but we've never lived with a romantic partner before.
Right, yeah. And I grew up with, you know, 3 stepbrothers in the house.
Yeah.
And before that, you know, I've got 3 whole siblings. So,
right. And 2 brothers.
Yeah. I'm used to having people around. It's not like I'm used to being completely alone in the house, but yeah, I still expected it to be a bit of a transition, but really we just kind of fell right into it, and we have somewhat similar routines.
Yeah, and now we know each other's routine. I think initially it was kind of like in the morning, like, am I in your way? Are you in my way? Like, what do you do when? And then we learn each other's routine. Yeah. And now I know you do this and then that, and I do this then. Right.
Yeah, it's actually been...
And we fall into it.
Yeah, it's been pretty easy.
Exactly. We do talk about any things that come up, like the dispersion of laundry. And then we handle it, you know? So that's really the only thing that came up is that I was doing more laundry than him.
Yeah.
And I brought it up, and he was like, okay, let's do anything.
All right, I'll do more laundry then.
So... Yeah.
It's easy. You just let the other person know.
Yeah.
Hey, this is bothering me, or this has been on my mind, and if it's bothering them. I think my
Yeah.
brother Matt, my older brother Matt, who's been with his now wife for the last 13 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they met when they were 17.
Okay.
Yeah, he told me once, he was like, you figure out what they don't like and then you don't do that. It's pretty simple.
You just avoid doing things that
Yeah.
irritate the other person.
Yeah.
I think it helps to communicate because we can't
Yeah.
expect each other to read each other's minds.
Right.
And that's something I keep in mind is that I might be thinking something like, geez, the cats are really being obnoxious. But you don't know what I'm thinking. So I
Yeah.
need to communicate and verbalize what I want or need. And then you do the same as well.
Right.
We can't just think things in our heads and assume your partner knows or
Right.
that someone else knows what you're thinking. So
Yeah.
you need to talk about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be difficult for us because we're not confrontational at all. But it's worth it to talk and to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think when we're in bad moods, we recognize when we're in bad moods. And we'll just let the other person know, like, I'm not in a great mood right now.
Yeah.
You know?
We
And then
just
the other
back
one
off.
backs off a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Just do our own things.
Yeah. Sometimes you need a little space. Sometimes it's been a bad day.
Yeah.
So,
And the best bits of living together has just been being able to spend more time with Andy and
Yeah.
to see him easily. Instead of having drive up to my apartment and try to find parking on the street. And
Yeah.
then, if you're tired on a weeknight because you have work the next day and then
Right.
driving home and just being able to spend more time together and see each other more.
Yeah. I agree. Because, before, at a certain point, you started parking on the street.
I did start moving my car
So
on the
I
street.
could take your parking spot,
My
your assigned spot.
Yeah.
So I always had parking. But even then, I mean, yeah, it was still a drive, which was fine. It's not like it's a terribly long drive. But then also, it's little inconveniences like, the next morning you have to walk to wherever you were able to find parking within
Remember where
the
I
2
parked
block
my car?
space. Yeah. So you got to walk over there early in the morning before anything to get your car, move back to your space so you can take all your stuff and put it in it. And
Yeah, for
little
work.
things like that. Just it
Yeah.
wasn't very convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now it's just easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see each other a lot.
Yeah.
And then the next question is from POK, P-O-K-K-70. It's another two-parter. How do you and Andy divide the household chores? What foods do you tolerate eating because the other likes it so much?
Eh.
We pretty evenly divide the household chores.
Stitch is gonna. He's
we're-
going up.
Stitch wants to look at the camera. We're pretty good about it. Andy and I switch. Each weekend, one of us will vacuum the house and mop and wash the bed sheets. And
Yeah.
then the other one will clean the bathrooms, the 2.5 bathrooms, and wash the towels, the kitchen towels and bathroom towels. Yeah, so we're pretty good about splitting it. So we each split laundry and stuff like that. I
We
think,
each do our own laundry.
yeah.
Our own clothes.
Exactly. We still wash it separate.
If there's stuff you want me to do, you just either tell me about it or you write it on the little board thing. Like wipe down the refrigerator and
door.
things
clean
like
the,
that.
Clean the refrigerator door. Or
Yeah.
if you can help with the cat's water fountains, with cleaning out all the gunked up fur and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we tend to do separate dinners on weekdays and it works fine for us. Sometimes we'll cook a dinner together and eat it together. Other days we just make what we want on our own.
Yeah.
That kind of leads into the second part of the question. What foods do you tolerate eating because the other one likes it so much? We don't really have to do that
No,
too much.
not really. If
because
there's something I don't like, then
you don't eat it.
I'm not gonna eat it.
Yeah, I made Brussels sprouts once. He hates them. You didn't.
Yeah.
You tried it, which was good.
I
You had
tried
a
it.
bite.
You probably eat more pizza now.
I do eat more pizza now that we're together.
Yeah.
Because I'm like not a huge pizza fan, but
Yeah.
But
I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just because I buy stuff doesn't mean you're gonna eat it.
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, we both
Yeah.
kind of eat what we want and what we like.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose like if you really wanted sushi, I hate sushi.
Oh,
or
yeah.
seafood in general.
Yeah, I don't cook seafood really
Yeah.
much. Like, I don't make shrimp because you hate it.
Right,
It
yeah.
grosses you out.
But if you wanted it,
If I wanted it, I could do it, but
you can have it, yeah.
you'd be like, ew, it smells.
I just probably wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah.
have any.
Yeah.
That's similar to the next question from Anne Montgomery. What is your favorite food?
Pizza.
Pizza. I
Yeah.
go with chocolate myself.
Alright, that's a pretty good one. That's a good answer.
All of the foods, Andy.
Yeah.
That's the answer. We like ice cream, candy, chocolate, coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
Okay, I know you don't. You like the soda, the Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
And all the things that we shouldn't eat, but that we like.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
Another question from Donna Shuley. She's been married for years, and she's asking a question in good humor. What irritates you about Andy? Same for Andy about you. Andy doesn't really bother me much or like irritate me. The only thing that was bugging me a bit, I now find funny because I kind of changed my point of view on it, and that's about prompting him to get his stuff out of the dryer.
Yeah.
At first I was like, geez Louise, he can't remember to do his laundry or to move the laundry and to keep it going. But now I just think it's funny and I make it almost a game because I'm like, how many times do I need to remind you to get your stuff out of the dryer?
Yeah.
And last week it was 5 times.
Yep.
And
that's the record.
yeah, this week we'll see, because you got stuff in the dryer now. We'll see how many times I need to remind you to get it out of the dryer, and I'm gonna laugh about it the whole time.
Yep.
But we have very similar vices.
Yeah.
Very similar weaknesses in terms of like spending money and eating out. So our weaknesses are kind of very much in line with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer the same about me?
There's not really anything.
You can answer. It's okay.
No. Well, it's kind of like what we talked about earlier. Like the things that we found, at least at first, that were annoying us, we just told the other person about.
Yeah.
You know, and really that's maybe been like 1 or 2 things.
It was the spoons. You didn't like how
I didn't like where the spoons were.
You didn't like the way I organized the spoons in the kitchen utensil drawer. That was it. That was nuts. I'm like, there's gotta be more. I find that you're very laid back and low key and accepting.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit more particular about things. I am. So it's kind of crazy. You don't like get annoyed. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of things I do that are obnoxious or annoying or irritate you.
Not really.
Or, you know, I feel like there's something, but you're just kind of laid back about it. So you're like, it's cool.
Yeah. No, there's really. Yeah, if there was, I'd just tell you.
Yeah, good. Just let me know, and then I'll keep that in mind and do something different.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good.
People are gonna be like, "Oh, you're lying."
The next question from Glitta Bones. She's in the UK.
That's a cool name.
I know. How does Andy feel about your vlogging, and has he considered doing it too?
I think it's cool. I mean, it gives us like something to do while we're out and about. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's fun for you to focus on it, to kind of be creative with it, come up with different ideas, maybe different like segments, you know, and then it also, it gives us something to maybe not focus on, but to open our perspective when we're out and about. You open up the camera and then you point out things that I probably wouldn't have even noticed, but you'll kind of look around and you almost look at it with fresh eyes. Like, this is what this place is like. And you point out that and that. Like, so I think it's cool.
Well, thanks, Andy.
Yeah. I've never really considered doing it myself. I mean, you know, there's things that I think would be cool that maybe some people would be interested in, like the project I'm working on right now with the Game of Thrones map.
You're woodworking.
But I'm lazy.
I think it'd be neat if you ever wanted to explore that, because you have a good personality and good sense of humor, and I think people would enjoy that.
I like watching YouTube videos. I watch YouTube videos more than regular TV or regular
on your computer.
Netflix or anything like that, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe we could add little bits to yours or something. I don't think I'll create my own anytime soon.
Yeah. The last question from a viewer is from Britt. She said, how have things changed as an engaged couple? Not at all.
Yeah, not really.
Not at all.
Because we lived together first, or at least a few months.
Yeah, we moved in together May 15th. We
Yeah.
proposed August 20th. It's like things are pretty similar. The only difference is that when I'm out and about, people ask, when are you getting married?
Yeah, that's true.
Have you set a date?
Now you got a ring to worry about. So like, maybe not worry about, but like you place it when you like do certain chores or something.
Yeah. Yeah, this morning I took it off to put on my sunscreen and I didn't put it back on right away. And I was like, where did I put it?
That's probably the biggest difference.
Yeah, normally I'm pretty good about tracking it and knowing where it's at.
And then, people asking when we're going to get married. And we're like, I don't know.
We got to save up money.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 questions that I made just for Andy at the end.
We'll see.
Okay. The first question is, describe how you prepared for the proposal.
Have you shown the book?
Briefly.
I think we showed it after the engagement.
Yeah, our adventure book. Do you want me to get it?
I can grab it. I made this book. Well, so you bought me the book as a present
for Christmas. Yeah.
And then after that, I started kind of, I don't know if they can get that in shot. I kind of started filling it in with all the stuff, like the first emails and pictures and little outings we've been on.
It's so sweet.
Some pages are better than others, but it took a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time you spent on this, huh?
Yeah, so I put all this together. And, I think at first I was just doing it to do it, to have all the things in one place, but then I was kind of like, this actually might be a cool way, or cool addition to the proposal. And the last little question. They want to pause it. So that took a lot of time. And then little things, I had plenty of time to prepare. My initial plan was to propose May 20th, which you totally figured out. But that was right after we moved in here.
Yeah, it was too stressful. We want to enjoy being engaged and not stress like we just moved into this place.
So it was just too much at one time. So postponed it. I wanted it to be on the 20th, and it just happened that August 20th was our anniversary, and it was also a weekend, so that was easier. So I did that, and then I thought about doing some other things, like having a photographer, but that would have meant we would have had to stick to a very strict schedule and be at a certain place at a specific time. And I didn't really want that. I wanted us to kind of just go with our own flow like we like to do.
Yeah, relax a bit, take it easy, do what we want when we want.
And then I wanted to kind of be like a picnic style, so I got like a blanket in case we couldn't find a bench.
A Minnie Mouse blanket.
Little glasses, and I got some chocolate Maya. And my initial idea was that we would. So I got Martinelli's, the great Martinelli's.
Martinelli sparkling cider.
And we would have that with a couple chocolates as we would like kind of flip through the book. But we ended up really just focusing on the book.
Yeah, and I think I was crying.
Yeah.
I was totally emotions.
Love it.
All of the emotions. Yes.
So we went through the book, and then at the last page, that I showed, and then I did the whole on the knee thing, and all that stuff. So it was more just like getting the book ready, getting the little things like the glasses and the blanket.
Yeah.
I had the ring already. So, I had that when we moved in together. So, that was the prep.
I loved it. It was perfect, Andy.
Thank you.
It's special.
I'm glad you liked it.
It was very special.
Yeah? Glad you liked it.
I loved it, Andy.
And we still got all the, we still have the box from Chocolate Maya. We still have the glasses we used.
All the mementos.
We're both kind of nostalgic.
Well, that's something I realized after we moved in together, and I got a new purse. So I had my old Tokidoki Hello Kitty purse that was tearing and ripping apart, and I bought that really nice black Kate Spade purse. And I was just gonna throw away my old purse because it was ripped and nasty, and Andy was like, whoa, 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 you gotta keep that. Yeah. That's the purse you had when we first met. Yeah. I carried it for you at lunch many days. Yeah. Which is very nice. Andy helps me carry my purse. Yeah, and you just had that nostalgia factor, and you wanted wanted me to keep the purse, so it's in the garage now.
Yeah.
And I realized, wow, he's really nostalgic. And then, you know, especially with the engagement, we're keeping the cups that we poured the Martinelli's juice into.
Yeah.
All these things. So I like that, though. I think it's sweet.
I like it too. I mean, it's memories. It's fun to look back on.
It is, and you place importance on those things, and
Right.
you can look at it and have something tangible besides the memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The last question, dun dun dun, which I made for him, because I have 2 questions for him. When did you know that I was the one you want to marry?
I mean, it was pretty early on, I think. Yeah, I mean, the more I got to know you over, I mean, even just the first couple months, we spent a lot of time together. We talked a lot.
Yeah.
And just kind of realizing that we were very in sync, we were very similar.
Yep, similar goals and lifestyle.
Oh, maybe we should redo this question then. Y'all have to remind me about my laundry.
Similar lifestyle and goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Personality, sense of humor.
Yeah.
Interests, things like that.
Exactly, values.
Yeah, exactly. Family, things like that. So, yeah, realizing that we just meshed very well together.
Yeah.
We fit very well together.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just over time, it became more and more obvious that I've cared very, very deeply for you.
You do.
And that I wanted to be with you forever.
So what? You're very sweetheart, Andy.
Yeah, I can't pinpoint a date or even a month or anything, but...
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think you were there pretty early on.
Yeah.
And I think that I took a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I think that worried you. I think that, like... I think you felt bad. I remember us talking about it once, that you worried that, like, I loved you more than you loved me or something.
Yeah, I worried about that. I remember that.
But then a little bit later, like, you know, a little bit more time, I think you asked again, and we felt that we had caught up to each other.
Yeah, we evened out. You're like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I was like, and then I evened out.
You were a little more...
cautious.
Yeah, cautious.
Yeah, exactly. It's the beginning of your relationship.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, it's gotta take your time. Gotta see, are you a trustworthy, reliable person? Do you do what you say? And you've always done that. You've always gone above and beyond. Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
I think you already answered that question, right? When you knew I was the one? Didn't we go over that?
I kind of did do that. Yeah, like. I knew you were super special, but then it took me a little bit of time to be like, yeah, I think I'm gonna marry you too.
No, I think that covers it. I mean, maybe if they have more questions, they could ask.
No, if you had questions. I thought if you had a question for me, you could ask. Yeah, you don't have to.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for doing the video together, Andy.
Of course. It's fun.
It is. I hope
I like
that
the vlog.
you enjoyed watching and getting our little surprise guest star, Stitch, here.
We got questions for Stitch. What is your favorite food?
Dry food. Treats.
He does like treats.
He likes it all. Treats, the wet food, the dry food.
That's true.
Anything that's in his brother's food bowl.
Yeah. All food. Fig would have been a better cat to ask. What's your favorite food?
His is dry food.
He likes dry food better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes the dry food.
What's your favorite activity? He said sleeping.
Sleeping and maybe chasing his brother sometimes.
Yeah. Or wrestling.
Yep.
Cat wrestling.
Getting nuts at night.
Yep.
Nighttime's crazy time.
That's right. We can hear him.
Yeah, well, thank you, honey.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed, and see you later.
Bye.